Good morning, everybody. Wonderful spirits of the universe. Welcome to the liberation of my soul. It's nice to be here with you again and study with you. Today I wanted to talk about, really quick, the Conversations with God, Book 1. This will be Part 2. So, in the last video we talked about God explaining to Neil how and why he created him. You know, what the difference is between what we believe and what we were taught as far as religious authorities go, what common gossip has been about God over the years, and what actually took place and what actually is going on. And this is the start of a beautiful thing between these two, between God and Neil Donald Walsh. This book is unbelievable. I tell you what, if you could get a chance to get your hands on it, do it, please, because it'll change your life. I mean, you can find it right on the internet here. You can Google it and it come up as a PDF for you. It's unbelievable. You know, in this book, God has a sense of humor. God has a personality, and why wouldn't he? Didn't God create personality? Didn't he create, or she create, humor itself? So when I say God as in he or she, I don't mean gender. It's just a habit of mine from years of saying, God, he did this, or God, he did that. But no, I don't see God as a gender, because God is a spirit. How could it, you know what I mean? So forgive me for that if when I say that, I don't mean anything by that. So basically, he's telling Neil that he said, the purpose for me to create you was for me to know myself experientially. In other words, God created us so that God could have an experience, because God is all-knowing conceptually. But in order to know itself experientially, it split itself into millions of different parts. Those different parts are you and me. So yes, very much so, you are God. You are a part of the Creator, the creative force that created this whole universe. You are a part of it. This is why the law of attraction works. This is why, because you have creative power. I've made some weird things happen in my life, and you know something? It doesn't matter really what it is that you're sending out into the universe. It will come back to you like a boomerang effect. You know, I mean, just really quick, I'm going to tell you what happened one time. One time I was looking for Xanax all over Scranton. And I was cursing Scranton by the gods. Like, I was so mad. I was so angry. There was so much emotion and so much anger there, because everywhere I went, I looked for Xanax, because I had this terrible anxiety that I live with. Not anymore, really, at all. But back then I was living with it. And what I was doing to take care of it is I was self-medicating. I was buying Xanax on the street, and I was buying them all over the place. This was what an addict would do. So the one day I couldn't find any at all. I mean, and this had, it was like a dry spell for maybe weeks. And I was really upset. I was furious, actually, to tell you the truth. I mean, my wife was with me at the time, and she could see how angry I was. And I tell you, on my children, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth about this. I went to the dollar store. Finally, I gave up. I said, F it, I'll just go get some Benadryl. Which Benadryl would make me feel uncomfortable, but it would take me out of myself, so to speak, which is all I was doing. I was escaping. So I went into the dollar store, bought some Benadryl, right? I shit you not, this happened. I got the Benadryl, came out of the store. I opened the box of Benadryl outside on the garbage can. As I'm opening the bottle up to take a few out, I throw the box in the garbage can. Guess what was in that garbage can? Yeah. Pieces of broken blue Xanax. Yeah. No, I shit you not. My wife will be a witness to this. Even though we're separated, but I found Xanax. Whole ones, broken ones, in the garbage outside of the Dollar Tree that I just bought. Now, how the hell did that happen? It happened because I have creative powers and didn't realize that what I was sending out into the universe with this anger and this, I was looking for this stuff like a, I was looking for it like a beast. I was after it because I can't stand the anxiety. And those of you who suffer from anxiety know what I'm talking about. It's a bitch, you know. And, you know, you walk around every day, and some people have the anxiety where you have the panic attacks and whatnot. Me, it was just a lull, like a dull lull of fear all the time, every day, all day. And it took to the point where I couldn't take it no more. And I would go and buy Xanax. And I mean, you know, people have these bags of weed on the internet showing bags of weed. I wanted to show my bags of Xanax that I bought. But needless to say, Xanax don't love me because I got a felony because of it. So, you know, I said all that to say this, is that we are a part of the Creator with creative powers. And that's what this book is talking about. God's telling Neil Waltz, you know, you're a part of me. I split myself so that I could experience myself and know myself and my magnificence through you. This is why we are created. And the plan is you are pure spirit, and you'll enter into the physical universe, because physicality is the only way to know experientially what you already know conceptually. See, your spirit knows all things conceptually, but you don't know it yet. And that's the plan. There's a reason behind that. So that's the reason God created the physical cosmos and relativity that governs the whole thing anyway, was just for that purpose. Now, in order to do this and to come to find out who you are, you had to find out who you are not. You have to come to know the opposite of what you are. You being part of the light would have to come to know darkness, right? How would you know good if there wasn't bad? You know, and on and on and on we can go with that. And it says you cannot experience yourself as creator unless you create yourself. And you cannot create yourself until you uncreate yourself. In other words, become something you're not in order to experience what you really are. And that's the kind of the tongue twister that this book takes you through. And last week I tried to read it on camera here, and it didn't really work out too well. And I apologize for that. It says you cannot do that because you are a pure creative spirit. You're a pure creative spirit. You have and always will be part of the divine whole. So what did you do? You did the next best thing. You made yourself forget who you are before you came into the earth. That's why you don't remember anything from your past lives. That's why you don't remember any of being the most fantastic, magnificent, epic thing that ever existed anywhere. That's why you don't remember being a part of that, because you chose to forget it. Because think about this. What would you create? What would you really create as far as your life goes, knowing all that? You know what I mean? You couldn't teach your child humility if you were a king. Check this out. If you were a king and you lived in a palace, how could you teach your child humility if you allowed the child to be brought up in the palace? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would want him, like Buddha, Buddha went out into the streets and saw the suffering of humankind on his own, but his father really wanted to keep him. It was an opposite thing. Well, with God, it's the opposite of that. We were to forget who we are so that we could come to this earth and create and experience, so that God, through us, could experience itself. Yeah, it's pretty amazing once you figure out who you are and what you can do. It's a wonderful thing, friends. And every day is a wonderful adventure. It really is, because now you know you can create whatever you want. You can create yourself in any way you want. And God is all for it. You know, I used to be one of those people that would go out and say, God, should I go right or should I go left? No, God doesn't care. It's up to you. You are the creator. This is what God says. You're the creator. You're part of me. You're the creator. Go ahead, create it so I can experience it. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And so that's all I have for today on this. Again, I really appreciate you guys. Love yous all. We're up to 51 subscribers on this channel here. Awesome. I'm so happy and so thankful for each and every one of you, because together we're going to save lives. That is my purpose on this earth now. You know, I survived those overdoses just for that reason. So if you like and agree with what I'm doing, please support me, subscribe, share the videos. I'm getting on Patreon. I'm going to get that set up, and maybe you could support us in any way you could. I really appreciate it. One love, y'all.